Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This past Friday, Systemera hosted their annual Extra Life charity stream, raising money for Seattle Children's Hospital. By the end of the 24-hour stream, the community raised over $8,200. Going into the stream, Joe had several Astroneer leaks prepared to share with us at various milestones. So let's take a look at the leaks and talk about what they might mean. At the very end, I'll even include an extra special leak that you might have missed. The first leak arrived when we passed the $500 milestone and featured Joe's Astroneer simply standing in the forest biome of Silva staring at this brown, white, and gray stripe thing. We'll see a couple of things that resemble this thing later in the video. That won't really answer any questions though, as we weren't given any context or explanation to how all of this tied together. Our next leak was at the $1,000 milestone and came with the huge disclaimer that we were to ignore the background. Snowstorms are not coming to the game. The snowflakes were just added in Photoshop or something to make a nice wintry scene to complement this nice wintry themed palette, visor, and hat. If I had to make a guess, I'd say that these are most likely to show up as unlockable cosmetics in this year's holiday limited time event. But that is just my guess. Joe never confirmed anything. At $1,500, Joe shared this new EXO Outfitters suit coming in the winter update. Later the next day, Joe was ranking the Astroneer suits by their dump trucks and scrolled down in his unlocked suits and we saw the name Old School Suit above this one. Whether that's the final name or not is anyone's guess, but it's still a cool looking suit that we should see in the game soon. At $2,500, Joe shared the fourth leak. He said we shouldn't really be paying too much attention to the artwork itself, and that makes sense since we already know Snails are coming to the game. Rather, he said this image references something that will be available for pre-order soon. I don't think I have to guess on this one. He's talking about Astroneer coming to the Nintendo Switch. For the $3,500 milestone, Joe shared this clip of a snail apparently munching down on something. Again, he didn't provide any context or explanation, so we have no idea what snails like to eat. But look at the shell on that snail and compare it to the thing that we saw in the woods of Silva earlier. Those look quite a bit alike. How do they tie together? I have no idea. Leak number 6 arrived when we hit our first goal of $4,000 and featured yet another snail. This one appears in colors that are almost identical to those that I use for Vainglorious Gaming branding, so I'm going to go ahead and name this snail Vainglorious and assume it is meant to represent the official addition of Vainglorious Gaming to Astroneer. Or maybe the colors are just a coincidence. It's one of those. When we had hit the $5,000 stretch milestone, Joe shared this curious leak with us. If you look closely, the white text on a blue background is incredibly similar to the way text is currently presented on control panels of various in-game items. But we have no idea who Dr. Iness is, why we're looking at their personal files, or why we can make out the word research at the bottom of this snippet. Personally, I'm hoping this means we're going to see some officially documented lore added to the game. Leak number 8 came with the $6,000 stretch goal and appears to be a comic book panel. Joe did mention that this is art from a work in progress that will expand the Astroneer brand, and he hinted at media outside of the game itself. I mean, it looks like a comic book panel to me. Link number 9 arrived in 2 parts for the $7,500 stretch goal. Joe prefaced this with a huge disclaimer that what we are looking at is very early work and may not ever actually come to the game. And if it does arrive in the game, it might not ride around loops. He also cautioned us not to read too much into its design, as this was just a concept at this point and no real work had yet gone into finalizing any artwork. And that makes sense. If Systemera isn't even certain that they're going to pursue this as something they want in the game, why would they invest the resources to make pretty finalized art? The second half of this leak came through this clip showing the contraption making its way down into a cave. And those were all of the official leaks from the 24-hour Extra Life charity stream. But another bit of info did surface when Joe was asked about dedicated servers and the Valve Steamdeck. He said at this time, while the game is playable on the Steamdeck, the game cannot connect to dedicated servers since the Steamdeck is emulating Windows. He didn't specify whether or not any work is being done on that front, so only time will tell. There was one final leak that I didn't even realize was a leak when it happened. All throughout the stream, I kept hinting that I would like a leak to share during during the portion of the 24-hour stream that I would be hosting. Unfortunately, Joe did not give me a leak to share. Yet, during the time I was live, Skeleton for Rent was in chat and wrote this. Hey Vane, did you know that one of the founders of EXO used to be in a garage band? They later added their first album was called Crackable State. I initially thought they were just pulling my leg. I assumed that they worked for Systemera since they were a moderator in chat, but Gina DM'd me on Discord to let me know that Skeleton for Rent is actually Systemera's narrative design director, and if they say it, it must be true. I'll be honest, I still don't know if they were pulling my leg, but later in the day, when Joe was live and ranking suits, the topic came up again. Skeleton for Rent said that they had indeed given me my very own leak for my portion of the stream. How will this information tie into the game? I have absolutely no clue, but I cannot wait to find out. And that wraps up coverage of everything that was leaked during the Systemera 24-hour Extra Life charity stream. I want to once again say a huge thank you to Systemera for letting me be a part of this event for the second year running. If you missed my portion of the stream, I let chat take control of what I did in Astroneer based on their donations for Extra Life. Let's just say that chat came up with some really clever ways to torture me during those 3 hours, and it was a ton of fun. I'll have the VOD up here on YouTube soon, or you can catch it on Systemera's Twitch channel. And with all the leaks covered, there's nothing else for me to talk about. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.